Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is 24th of May. It is Saturday. And it is Jyeshta Masa or Trivikrama Masa, Krishna Paksham and the Dwadasi Tithi. So today break the fast between 4:56 and 10:17. So the Parayana time, Dwadasi Parayana time has already started. Devotees can break their fast for Aparaya Ekadasi. So that will last until 10:17. Okay, apart from that Dwadasi Parayana, so one more event, appearance day of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. So we shall read it from iskandeserty.com. So can you request Sanchita Mataji to read this event? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Today is the appearance day of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, the author of the Chaitanya Bhagavat, and is an incarnation of Sri Vyasadeva. The mother of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was Sri Narayani Devi, the niece of Shivas Pandit. In his Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das has described how his mother attained the affectionate fervor of Sri Gaurasundara. Narayani Devi received the entire remnants of Mahaprabhu's meal. Though she was only an insensible child, he bestowed his mercy on her in this way. Also, as a result of this mercy, Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur, whose life and soul was Sri Gaur Nityananda, took his birth from her womb. He hasn't mentioned the name of his father. It is believed that Narayana Devi was married to someone at Kumarahatta. However, while she was still carrying the child in her womb, she was widowed. Being reduced to a condition of poverty by the loss of her husband, she finally accepted shelter in the house of Sri Vasudev Datta Thakur at Mamgachi, where she helped with housework. Here, Vrindavan Das has begun his studies. In the preface to Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has written, Narayani Devi raised her child in the home of the father of Sri Malini Devi, where she had accepted shelter. Vrindavan Das was born 4 years after Mahaprabhu took sannyas. When Mahaprabhu disappeared, he couldn't have been more than 20 years old. He was initiated by Sri Nityananda Prabhu and was apparently the last disciple whom Sri Nityananda accepted. He accompanied Sri Janava Mata to the Kheturi Maha Mahotsav. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has glorified Vrindavan Das Thakur as the Veda Vyas of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The pastimes of Krishna has been described in the Srimad Bhagavatam by Ved Vyas. Vrindavan Das is the Ved Vyas of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya. He has composed Chaitanya Mangala, which destroys any inauspiciousness for those who hear it, so that we can understand the glories of Chaitanya Nitai. The essence of the conclusions regarding devotional service as expanded in Srimad Bhagavatam and the limits of the conclusions regarding Krishna Bhakti, he has composed this great literature to uplift mankind. To compose such a work is not conceivable for a human being. Therefore, we can understand that Sri Chaitanya himself is speaking through him. I offer my obeisances tens of millions of times at the lotus feet of that person who has given us such a scripture which can deliver the whole world. Chaitanya Charitamrita, where and give Srila Prabhupada's translation. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai.
Uh,
Hari.
Thank you, Mataji. So beautiful pastime. So this is about the Vrindavan Das Thakur. And also I have shared some of the Chaitanya Charitamrita purports and the translations in the group. So I think devotees can go through, but this is a little bit of Vrindavan Das Thakur's appearance day. Okay, so we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam, that is from everyone's perspective. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय हरे कृष्ण the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Buddha was speaking Krishna Katha to Vidura. So from Krishna's childhood, and Krishna was taken to Vrindavan from the Madras Kamsa's prison. And then later on, he was grown up in the Vrindavan. He used to give all pleasures to all the Vrindavan people, all his parents, and all the gopis and everyone by all his different kinds of activities. And he used to look after these calves and then go with along with Gopa boys for taking the cows to the grazing. It was so different kinds of colorful cows are there. In such a way, he was wandering on the banks of the Yamuna River, and then while playing his beautiful flute. So Kaumaryam Darsham Cheshtam Prekshiniyam Rajokasam Rasaniva Hasanmugdha Balasimha Avalokanaha स एव घोदनं लक्ष्म्या निकेतं सितगोवृषं चारयन् अनुगान् गोपान् रणध्वेनुररिरमत्. So he blows his flute very beautifully, ariramat, like enlivening all the cows and boys and everyone. So in such a way, Uddhava is remembering Krishna's pastimes, and also later on how Krishna has killed all the demons that have been coming to kill Krishna, and those demons were engaged by Kamsa, and those demons they are all Kama rupis, so they can change the form whatever they want. But Krishna, he used to kill them just like a child plays with the toys, and the child will break the toy. Likewise, Krishna used to kill all these demons. Likewise, Buddha is remembering another how Krishna is killing the demons. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, second chapter, verse number 30. प्रयुक्तान् बोधराजेन मायिनः कामरूपिणः लीलया विनुदत् तान् तान् बालः क्रीडनकानिव प्रयुक्तान् भोजराजेन. And being engaged, Prayuktan is engaged by Bhojarajena. So by the Bhojara, King Kamsa is the king of Bhojas. Prayuktan Bhojarajena Mayinaha Kamarupinaha. Mayinaha, great wizards. So they can change their form. Mayinaha Kamarupinaha, who could assume any form they liked. Who could assume any form they liked. When we are children, people used to say that the demons they will disguise as like humans, and they will take and kidnap and then take to the forest and then kill. So we used to afraid, but so this is kind of a demons we would see in the Vrindavan. So probably the elders they might have inherited from the Krishna's pastimes. प्रयुक्तान् भोजराजेन मायिनः कामरूपिणः लीलया विनुदत्तान् लीलया विनुदत्. And Krishna, in the course of pastimes, Vinudhat, he has killed all of these demons. Tamstan, so Tantan, so then and there itself, as they came there, Krishna used to kill them. And Balaha Kredinakan Iva Balaha, the child, Kredinakan Iva, like a child play with the dolls. In such a way, Krishna used to play with these demons and then kill them at the end. As by when and then and there itself, as soon as they come, and then and there itself, Krishna used to kill them. प्रयुक्तान् भोजराजेन मायिनः कामरूपिणः लीलया विनुदत्तांस्तान् बालः क्रीडनकान् इव. Translation for this was: the great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Bhoja, Kamsa, to kill Krishna, but in the course of his pastimes, the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks dolls. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. Okay, can I request any unallocated devotee to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. Can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport by Divan Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The atheist Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna just after his birth. He failed to do so, but later on he got information that Krishna was living in Vrindavana at the house of Nanda Maharaja. He therefore engaged many wizards who could perform wonderful acts and assume any form they liked. All of them appeared before the child lord in various forms like Agha, Baka, Putana, Shakata, Trinavarta, Denuka, and Gardaba, and they tried to kill the Lord at every opportunity. But one, but one after another, all of them were killed by the Lord as if he were only playing with dolls. Children play with toys, lions, elephants, boars, and many similar dolls, which are broken by the children in the course of their playing with them. Before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like a toy lion in the hands of a playing child. No one can excel God in any capacity, and therefore no one can be equal to or greater than Him, nor can anyone attain the stage of equality with God by any kind of endeavor. Jnana, yoga, and bhakti are three recognized processes of spiritual realization. The perfection of such processes can lead one to the desired goal of life in spiritual value, but that does not mean that one can attain a perfection equal to the Lord's by such endeavors. The Lord is the Lord at every stage. When he was playing just like a child on the lap of his mother, Yashodamayi, or just like a coward boy with his transcendental friends, he continued to remain God without the slightest diminution of his six opulences. Thus, he is always unrivaled. Prabhuji, that all? Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this purport, so how Krishna is killing the demons, though just comparing like a child breaks the dolls. Likewise, Krishna killed all the demons. It is analogy Prabhupada is describing in a philosophical way as well. Um, so atheist Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna just after his birth. He failed to do so, but later on he got information that Krishna was living in Vrindavan at the house of Nanda Maharaja. So Kamsa, after hearing the Akashavani that he will be killed by the eighth son of Devaki, and then immediately he started to kill Devaki then and there itself. But somewhere or other, by the influence of Maya, and Vasudeva was able to convince him that I am going to give all the children. But he spoke so much of philosophy before that. But later on, finally, he said that whatever the child born out of Devaki, I will give. So Kamsa agreed for that one. So by the agreement of Kamsa, it is again by the build external energy of the Lord. And later on, so Devaki has given birth to his, 7 children. So Kamsa did not kill all of them. So he has given written back to Vasudeva, because looking at Vasudeva's promise and his truthfulness. But in terms of the eighth child, before comes to seventh child itself, Narada Muni come, and then he just says to Kamsa, by taking one flower and putting the flowers, showing the flowers, which one is the eighth petal, which one is the first petal. And then Kamsa was bit enraged again that to kill all the children, and then he killed all the living children. And then later on, he has planned in such a way that whoever is taking birth within the 10 days, I mean, when that time, um, by the time Krishna was already born, and then Balrama was already born, and then Krishna was taken to Gokula as well. So later on, he has made a plan that kill all the children who has taken birth in the last 10 days. So likewise, Kamsa has administered all the demons, and then so out of that, he first chosen Putana, the she demoness. And then Putana, she has killed so many children like that before coming to Krishna. So later on, when Putana came to Krishna, Krishna has killed that Putana demon. So he has failed in his every endeavor. But later on, he got information that Krishna was living in Vrindavan at the house of Nand Maharaj. He therefore engaged many wizards, starting from Putana, who could perform wonderful acts and assume any form they liked. Putana disguised as very beautiful woman. And later on, when Krishna killed her, the original form of Putana was exhibited as a great, it was, I think, 12 miles or 8 miles long, 12 miles long, it seems. And then it took one complete year to cut the body of Putana and burn into the ashes. That was the duty for the Vrindavana people. Okay, yeah. So all of them appeared before the child Lord in various forms, like the starting from Putana, and then later on Sekatasura, and then Trunavarta, and then later on all these demons came. Agasura, Bhakasura, Putana. These Agasura, Bhakasura, Putana, these three are sister and brothers. And Sekatasura is the different demon. Trunavarta, Dhenukasura, and Aristasura, Kesi demon, and also Vyomasura. There are many other demons as well. And they try to kill the Lord at every opportunity. So if we see the little Krishna, it is so beautiful to see, and then again and again one can relish. So that is, they try to kill Lord, and the Lord has killed them. But one after another, all of them were killed by the Lord as if he were only playing with the dolls. And this is Prabhupada giving analogy as the children playing with the toys. And well, children are playing with the toys, and then telling us a story that this child, and then putting all these toys, this is lion, I'm just going to kill it, like that. It is pleasing to the parents very nicely, and also to speak about the children's pastimes. So likewise, Krishna has killed all of them. And before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like a toy in the hands of a playing child. No one can excel the God in any capacity. So this one in the Upanishad said, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, and nat samasya abhitikascha drusyate, parasaktir vividhaiva shruyate, swabhavaki jnana balakriyacha. So Lord, no one can excel the Lord. This is Nata Samasya Abhidikasya Drustyate. There is no one equal to him or greater than him. And also Matta Smriti, that is uh, again Krishna says in the Matta Param Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. So these are the things, and therefore no one can be equal to or greater than him. Nat Samasya Abhidikasya Drustyate. And nor can anyone attain the stage of equality with the God by any kind of endeavor. Either jnana, yoga, bhakti are three recognized process of spiritual realization. वदन्ति तत्तत् विदस्तत्त्वं यज्ञानमद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवानिति सभ्यते. So this is three parts. The first is the Brahmeti, that is Jnana Yoga process. To approach the Brahman, it is Jnana Yoga. Paramatmeti, that is yogic process. A yogi goes to a secluded place and meditate on that. So three different yogis. One is the Jnana Yogi, and Parama Yogi who meditates on the Paramatma, and then finally Bhakti Yogi. Okay, but they're all, this is Jnanam Advayam, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti. So this is described by Vadin Tat Tat Vidustattum Yajnanam Advayam, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavanit Shabjate. So all the learned people describes that one to attain the ultimate objective, absolute truth. These are the three processes, three recognized process of spiritual realization. Perfection of such processes can lead one to the desired goal of life in a spiritual value. But that does not mean that one can attain a perfection equal to the Lord's by such endeavors. So, by such endeavors, one cannot become Lord. One cannot become a God. Lord is the Lord at every stage. When he was playing just like a child on the lap of his mother Yashodamai, or just like a coward boy with his transcendental friends, he continued to remain God without slightest diminution of his six opulence. Thus, he always unrivaled. There is no comparison to Krishna in the history. He claimed he is the supreme personality of Godhead. There is no person has claimed that he is the God in throughout the, even if you see whatever the past tense has happened in the historical point of view, Puranic point of view, Vedic point of view, everywhere. Krishna only has claimed that I am the supreme personality of Godhead. Mattah param nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya aham sarvasya prabho. Likewise. So these are all Krishna's pastimes. So he is always unrivaled. Okay, so likewise, Prabhupada is describing it. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, Uddhava is remembering. So hearing to this pastimes, this is like a again. mm, uh, in the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Kridan Virte Vijigosuranam Kshemaya Karmani Avatar Bhedehi Manona Trupitinaha Manona Trupyatipi Shrinutamnaha Suslokamole Shritamritani. So as soon as one is just hearing about Krishna Katha, then he is Manona Trupyatipi Shrinutamnaha. There is no satiation to hear Krishna Katha. And Kridan Vidite for Lord performs Kridan, just like a place for Vijaya Gosuranam, for the Brahmanas, cows, and the demigods. Karmanya avatar bhedehi. Susloka Maule Shritamritani, and all pastimes of the Lord, they're all auspicious. So this is again Vidra was when he met Maitreya Rishi, he was inquiring from Maitreya Rishi. So just describe more and more. So here again Vidra is asking Buddhava speak Krishna Katha. So here Buddhava is saying Praiktan Bhojarajena Mainah Kamarupinah Lilaya Vinudat Tanstan Balaha Kridanakan Ivam Balaha Kridanakan Ivam. So Krishna is to play like that in the childhood. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jaya. So these are all many pastimes of all these things. One is if we see different topics, in the first of all, one has to come to spiritual process. So materialistic people, they have got so many of those things. Going to that pub, this pub, that picnic, this picnic, that country, this country, and going here and there. but that is materialistic. One comes to the Krishna consciousness, gradually understanding spiritual process, chanting, following the regulative principles, then understand what is the universe, and then what are the ways of controlling the senses, and knowing the universal affairs, different demigods and relationship with the Krishna, and worshipping of Krishna, meditating on Krishna, understanding Krishna's pastimes, and how he kills all the demons. And then apart from that, the devotees, they will also further in advancing, they enter into the very deep pastimes of the Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, and all the Vrindavana pastimes. And there, where Rupa Goswami has composed so many books like Ujjwala Neelamani, um, and then there are Vidagdha Madhava. Likewise, there are many books are there, and we are just going through all these books just now. Few books like the Krishna book, Bhagavatam, and the Ramayana, like that. The main books are we are going through, and also to cover all those books, some of the books. They must be read in the only pure devotees association. They're very confidential pastimes, but that does not mean that we should leave them aside. Okay, so we'll see how those can be covered later on. I'll share those details, but they are very confidential things. Um, okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam for now. So that Sukadeva Goswami mentioned in the um, previously that many people they think about the pastimes of the Lord, but only devotees uh, they are qualified to hear more about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Likewise, we have seen those things in the second canto. Ittam bhavena kadito bhagavan bhagavattamah na ittam bhavena hi param drashtum arhanti surayah drashtum arhanti surayah. So they are qualified to hear Krishna's different pastimes in a spiritual form. They're all transcendental. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami described all these things. But he did not cover all these things when he was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, because he did not have enough time. Okay, so that is from some of the reflections perspective. Okay, so for now we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so now letter to Satsvarupa, August 16th, 1970. It is the Tokyo. So it's not a big letter as well. Uh, okay, can I request another unallocated devotee to read this letter, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Please, my dear Satswarupa, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 10th August 1970 along with a list of schedule for temple activities. It is very nice program. If you simply follow this program, then the spell of Maya will not be able to enter into your constitution. All questions and answers are practically given in our books. I have received two Bhagavatam chapters, pure devotional service. The Archan program is very nicely described in verse number 22 specifically. So these books are so valuable for public reading, but some way or the other they are not being introduced in proper channel, namely the school and college for reading. I have nominated you as one of the members of the governor GBC because I know you are a very good soul and I shall be very pleased if the mistake which have already crept in our society can be rectified by your combined effort. I have not heard anything about the activities of the four sannyasis, neither I have received any letter from them. I have not yet received any letter from Rupa Anuga about the press questions, But as you know, I have several times mentioned that the press is in my heart and soul. It should work constantly to produce literature for the wide distribution. Similarly, I'm trying to engage the Dia Nippon Press for printing our books. Yesterday, I had placed with them $32,000 worth business. We have now stock of NODs 5,000 as $4 a piece. Similarly, Krishna at $8. So by book distribution, you have got more than 100,000 worth books in stock. So if we collect only 1/4 of it and pay to Dia Nippon, then we got another 100,000 worth books. Of course, it's not business proposal, but it's a scheme for distributing widely our literatures. That is my program. So I hope you are all meeting in New Vrindavan and try to make a strong program how our missionary activities can be pushed on with great stride. I have asked Karandhar to collect all book funds and send to Diya Nippon, wherein I have opened an account, Bhakti Vedanta Book Fund Deposit. The more they receive amounts, the more we print books for distribution. In the third chapter, the black border underneath my name doesn't look very well. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jaya. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from this letter?
Yes, Prabhu. In this letter, Prabhupada is writing to Satswarupa. He's appreciating their endeavor, actually, what they're doing, how they are performing the programs, and he is mentioning that there is a list of temple activities which they can go through in the book. And he's saying if you keep doing these programs, they will Maya will not touch them, and he's encouraging them to read all the questions and answers from the book, from his books. And in another paragraph, he's mentioning that in 2 Bhagavatam chapter, the Archana program is nicely described. So um uh, so I mean, they so some way or other way he says um this should be introduced in the school and colleges for reading, but I think they are not properly mentioned. So uh, he has recommended him as a member of governing body because he trusts him so much, and he Prabhupada understand his caliber. He's a good soul, and he is very pleased um, that he is doing so much to rectify the problems in the society. So another encouragement, he has been asking about the 4 sannyasis. I think how they doing after taking sannyas, because I think they haven't replied him anything. Then in third paragraph, he is asking about the Rupanuga, another Prabhu, about the press questions, because um, Srila Prabhupada's main interest is in printing press, in the press, actually printing all the small and Bhagavatam books. So he has been discussing how much money, how many books are in the stock, and how they can um, pay, what would be the cost of each book they can distribute. So that description is here in the third paragraph. And yeah, he's mentioning that it's not a business, but it's like distributing our literature. That is what is in his in mind. And again, he is encouraging them about their program, which is going to happen in New Vrindavan. And yeah, so he is mentioning that he has opened an account with Bhaktivedanta Book Fund Deposit, so all funds should go in that account, so that they can print more books for distribution. That's what I understand. Hare Krishna. And one more thing he mentioned in the last, that I think he didn't like in the third chapter, the black border underneath my name doesn't look very well. So he's mentioning that, I mean, it, he didn't like it. So that's all, Prabhu, my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for nicely read and explained. Okay, any other comments? Sanchita Mataji wanted to add anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, Himlata Mata just explained it nicely. So yeah, that's the main uh, theme of this letter, that Prabhupada always mentions, that press is the heart and soul. It's my heart and soul. So basically, after the movement has been established in the West, and then um, he wants more focus to do his translation carry on, and he wants his disciples to carry on with printing more books as the Boston Press, as well as the hardcovers. He mentioned in earlier letters that he want them to be printed in Japan, Tokyo, by Dai Nippon. But of course, it's expensive. Like he has given this amount of like $100,000. So he's given us all the calculations. To print that 100,000 books, we need to distribute the books, and at the cost he has mentioned, like £4 for Nectar of Devotion, and $4 for Nectar of Devotion, and Krishna book at $8. And he's estimating that if we collect at least 1/4 of the pay, then we can get another stock of like books of another $100,000, and that way we can distribute this literature very widely. That is his plan, and all he wants is this literature should be taught in schools. Like I think once somewhere he mentions that you know mm, there should be public reading. Like these books are so valuable for public reading that they should be introduced in proper channel, namely schools and college, for reading. We if we see just our childhood, that we had like so much in Maya, and the government and the policies, they are such that they never let, even now today after 50-60 years, they don't allow these books to be unless it's a gurukul system. These books are not still taught, and nobody understands what is Krishna, why are we here, all the important questions, who is the soul, how is this creation formed, and all this. Still we learn the Big Bang theory and all that nonsense, this avidya, this we kept on learning this till our adulthood. So he's mentioning that, but he's trying so hard. So we see in this letter that Prabhupada, he's asking that you are a good soul, so please, you try. He's in Tokyo, so he's asking him to get the books and try really hard for the book distribution. And still the important mission of this ISKCON is book distribution, so that it reaches these souls, wandering souls who are in, they don't have answers to all these questions. So important questions in life, still so much covered by Maya. And initially, I think in the beginning, he mentioned about the temple activities, that if we just focus on these Archana programs and the pure devotional service, the direct service, then, you know, Maya can, the spell of Maya, if that's why Prabhupada always says that so high standard is maintained in his temple, the activities of the temple. If it's maintained nicely, then he says the spell of Maya will not be able to enter your constitution. So, and our books give practical all question and answers are practically given in our books. I mean, how to do everything is like, he started this movement, and slowly by 1970, in few years, he has managed to give all, the magazine or the Back to Godhead and everything. He has managed to give all the basic things. Of course, there is so much, the Vaishnava philosophy is so deep, you can never finish in one lifetime, but whatever is the basic things needed, especially for these wide-bodied souls, disciples in the West, they cannot get into so much details, but whatever is needed, he has given them. And of course, he's also mentioning here, like, he's nominated as the governing body, uh, member of the governing body, and please try to correct the mistakes which has crept already in our society, and that can be rectified by a combined efforts, because Prabhupada is always traveling, so he wants his disciples to, the good disciples. Of course, he knew that not everybody will stay in the mission, and not everybody is nice, but he's saying, you are a good soul, so I'll be pleased if these mistakes are rectified by your combined efforts. So few good disciples, they should try to rectify the mis. And then he says, I have not heard about the activities of the four sannyasis, neither have received any letter from them. So I think in the 1970 there was a scandal of the four sannyasis. It's quite famous, like the scandal of the four sannyasis, and ISKCON got really bad name from there. And it was only few years, in 1970 only, it started. These four sannyasis, they, I think Brahmananda, Subala, Gargamuni, and Vishnu Jana, I think they were just newly initiated sannyasis, and they started like in one of the new Vrindavan festival, think Rath Yatra or something, I don't remember. In one of the festival, they started propagating to the public when they were going around that Prabhupada is God, and instead of which was against the ISKCON philosophy. Like we always say, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Prabhupada has come here to preach. So they got so influenced, like on so much high, that they started preaching that Prabhupada is God, and Prabhupada got very offended by this, and everybody started, blaspheming this institution, ISKCON. And so these four were banned from preach temporary ban, I think, in preaching in ISKCON. So he's saying that by this, Prabhupada is saying him that mistakes have already crept. It's only few years and it has already crept in our society, but still by your combined efforts, it can be rectified. And he was expecting that he would receive some kind of apology letter from this. I'm thinking that some about this from the four sannyasis, but they haven't wrote back to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was very hurt by this. So yeah, and after this, there was another thing that Prabhupada moved. When ISKCON, of course, ISKCON is international society, so it was found in the West, started in the West, and in Los Angeles, and it where it was established. But later, Prabhupada thought that these kind of things, these are not real Brahmins, real sannyasis. They are just initiated by him and all. Then they still have so much of Maya in them. It's better that after him, never know what will happen. So he moved the headquarters. That is when the headquarters were moved to Mayapur. So the headquarters was first, it was actually in Los Angeles, but it was later moved to Mayapur because Prabhupada thought they're not very trustworthy. And since then it has been in Mayapur. And we see, like, whenever there was something, this is one very important lesson we should learn, like how Prabhupada kept on changing his strategy for this mission to go on. Initially, he started like the League of Devotees in Jhansi. That did not work. Then Prabhupada started translating more books. And then he came in the West. And then he started his Back to Godhead magazine. And with those magazines and translation of few Srimad Bhagavatam, he came in the West. In the West, he started the movement. And when things like all these things started happening, then he moved the headquarters to the east. Like in India, in West, he wanted more and more disciples, but in India, because his teaching not everybody was taking, so he made like life members. Like if you become life members, then you get so many facilities, like you can go and stay in the temples, go and visit festivals, attend this kathas and all. So he made different strategies for this. So he's I mean, and then after all this happened, and he wanted this to spread. So till his last time, he always focused on Sankirtana movement, of course, Sankirtana movement to spread it. But Sankirtana also in the West, it only did till some time, because when Prabhupada came, though he taught the hippies, but that was a particular type of audience. These days, but the uh, the amount of devote disciples he got during that time, these days it does not happen so quickly. I mean, here we see that in the West, the movement has become a bit stable, or not very fast, steady now. But in the East, I mean, in India, it's spreading. Like there's so many temples coming, so many Indian devotees, they're taking this mission and all. So he wanted that particular sect of people who became his disciples, because they were already in the hippies. They were looking for something more, so to answers to the questions when war was going on and all that. So that time they took shelter for Prabhupada, but now it's not happening. We see in the temples also, when we go, more Indian disciples, but Prabhupada still wanted it to be spread in the West. So he then again changed his strategies, like book. So that's why this letter is about book distribution. Say if you print more book, distribute more book, at least in the West, if you give these books, at least someday, sometime, even if they read few chapters, the seed goes in, and then maybe in the lifetime they get into this movement, or try to understand Krishna. So he kept on changing his strategy, like as a movement. And that's why it did really so well. When we try to understand how it did so well in this 10-12 years, so he kept on changing this mission. But always there are controversies and scandals which goes on. Even now, presently also, we know some controversy going on. But yeah, now it is the chance of the turn of the present generation to give solutions and make the movement more steady, so that Mahaprabhu said it should last for 10,000 years. But there was so much fight in between, and the different branches, that it's like getting hampered in between. So we should all be together, working for the same mission, what Prabhupada's simple mission, simple living, high thinking, follow the regulative principles, chant Hare Krishna, do your japa, and spread the movement, and understand, read the books, definitely read the books, and have prasadam. So very simple things, but only if we all can stay together and do it, then only we can do service to Srila Prabhupada. That's all, Prabhu, from my side. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So nicely explained, and sharing the moments and the different instances. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, okay, so it is now for the next generation to take it forward. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, so we shall move to the next part if you're all happy. If you don't have anything, then we shall go into Srimad Bhagavatam. Um, okay, so from the updates point of view, so today afternoon we have got Children's Krishna Club at 12 o'clock, and evening we have a Bhagavad Gita session at 7 p.m. So the speakers, our Gaur Sangha speakers, are going to speak. Okay, the 4 devotees are allocated for 4 different shlokas. Okay, that is from updates point of view. And the devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Vaikuntha pastimes. Okay, so there are no updates, then we shall enter into the Bhagavatam again. So we have been discussing Vaikuntha pastimes for last few weeks. Kumaras, they are still in the Vaikuntha, so we are also in the Vaikuntha. And they have been glorifying the Lord by looking at the behavior of the Lord, how he was glorifying the Brahmanas. Even though Brahmanas came to visit to Vaikuntha, they have cursed the Parshudas of the Lord in the Vaikuntha, and later on the Lord has appeared there, and then he has glorified all the Brahmanas in many ways, and then again Brahmanas, they came to the senses that they have done something which is not right, the four Kumaras, and then they started glorifying the Lord. Oh, my dear Lord, you with your humble behavior, you are just like a Pramana. And because of that, everyone comes to this spiritual consciousness, and you protect everyone so that you will never ever make the auspicious path to be destroyed. तथ्य अनभीष्टमिव सत्त्वनिधिद्विदित्सोः क्षेमं जनाय निजशक्तिभिः उद्धृतारेः नैतावता चदि पतिर्बत विश्वभर्तुः तेजः क्षतं त्वं तेजः क्षतं तु अवनतस्य सते विनोदः अवनतस्य सते विनोदः. So likewise, they were glorifying the Lord. So this is, my dear Lord, you never want the auspicious path to be destroyed, for you are the reservoir of all goodness. Just to benefit people in general, you destroy the evil element by your mighty potency. You are the proprietor of the three creations and the maintainer of the entire universe. Therefore, your potency is not reduced by your submissive behavior. Rather, by submission, you exhibit your transcendental pastimes. So likewise, Kumaras, they have described, and finally now they are coming to the concluding their prayers or glorification of the Lord, and admitting that this Jaya and Vijaya, they are the innocent people, and they were just simply carrying out their duties. And we have come here, but we only got angry because of the small incidents. Kamanujena sahasata upaplukshata. Upaplukshudaha. So they got bitten by the angry. This is the three parts of the hell. This is the Kama, Krodha, Lobha. These are the three paths to the hell. So now somewhere or other they were bitten by the angry snake. But transcendently realized persons, they are always peaceful, titikshavaha. But here, Kumaras, they could not stay like a tolerant because they were in the mood of seeing the Lord. Tayekada bhagavato vaikuntasya amalatmanaha. They wanted to see the Lord. They were in that mood. So immediately, vuchuhu didruksha, vuchuhu didrukshita bhanga ishat. So they were disturbed by seeing the Lord. Vuchuhu suhruttama didrukshita bhanga ishat. Kamanujena sahasata upaplukshaha. So likewise, mm, Lord Brahma is describing to all the demigods. So now this story is going on in the Brahma Loka. All the demigods, they went to the Lord Brahma and sitting around what is happening with the because everything, this universe is becoming dark. And then Brahma started speaking that this Hare Krishna. The Hiranyakshipu and Hiranyaksha, they have been in the womb of Diti for 100 years. And because of Diti Mata has kept by her tapasya, if they come out and they will make so much havoc. And then because of that, this everything is going dark in the heavenly planets. And then demigods, they approached Brahma. Brahma started speaking this Krishna Katha, all what is happening. Now, this Kumaras, Brahma is still explaining, all the demigods sitting around Lord Brahma. And Brahma is saying this, whatever the past times we are discussing. Now, the conversations are in further inner side. These four Kumaras. Um, so after that, the conversation happening between Lord and the four Kumaras. And Kumaras, they have admitted that this Jaya and Vijaya, they are the innocent people. And also they admitted that they have done something which is not appropriate. So, and then praying to the Lord that, oh my dear Lord, so whatever you wanted to do now, either you wanted to punish Jaya and Vijaya or you wanted to punish us. So it is acceptable to us. Either way, it is acceptable to us. In such a way, um, they are trying to pray. So we are in the verse, third canto, 16th chapter, 25th verse. यं वाणयोः दमम् अदीश भवान् विधत्ते वृत्तिं नु वा तद् अन्मन्मही निर्व्यलीकम् अस्मासु वायुचितो धृतां सदण्डो येनागसु वयम् ऐजक्ष्मिः किल्बिषेण यं वाणयोः which yam, that is which, va or anayoho, both of them. Dhamam is the punishment. Yam vanayoho dhamam adisha, O Lord. Bhavan vidhatte, your lordship awards. Yam vanayoho dhamam adisha bhavan vidhatte. Whether you give punish to them, both of them, O my dear Lord. And then vrityamnuva tad anmanmehi nirvilikam. Vrityamnuva. It is a better existence. Vrityamnu, certainly. Va or tat anumanmahi nirvilikam. We accept. So here both of them, they're mentioning both of them. And tat anmanmihi nirvilikam, we accept your decision without any duplicity. Asmasu vaya bujito dritam sadendo. Asmasu, so asmasu is to us, even to us. So either you punish both Jaya and Vijaya, both of them, we accept it. And also asmasu va, even though otherwise you wanted to punish us, that is also asmasu va. Asmasuvaya Vujito Dritam Sadhando, whichever unto us also, Asmasuva, whichever is proper, Vujitaha is proper, Dritam may be awarded, Saha, that Dandaha punishment. Either you wanted to punish Jaya and Vijaya or us, the Kumaras. Yena Gasu Vayam, Yena, so here he is mentioning Anagaso. Ye, those two, Jaya and Vijaya, are Anagaso, they are the sinless. Vayam, and we, so what is it? Anukshamahi, Yena Vasumvayam Anujakshmihi, Anujakshmahi, Kilbishena, Anu, Ayunkshamahi, that is allotted, Kilbishena, without a curse. With a curse. Kilbishena is a with a curse. So we shall see the translation. This is a bit tricky thing. Yam vanayoho dhammamadesha bhavan vidhatte vrittim nuvat tad anmanmehi nirvilikam अस्मासु वायुमुचितो धृतां सदण्डो येनागसु वयम् अनुक्षक्ष्मिः किल्बिषेण. And then translation and purport. Can I request any devotees to volunteer devotees to read this translation and purport, please?
Can I?
Yes, Mataji, please.
O Lord, whatever punishment you wish to avoid to these two innocent persons, or also to us, we shall accept without this duplicity. We understand that we have caused two faultless persons. To say, the sages, the four Kumaras, now reject their cursing of the two doorkeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, because they are now conscious that persons who engage in the service of the Lord cannot be at fault at any stage. It is said that anyone who has implicitly faith in the service of the Lord or who actually engaged in transcendental loving service has all the good qualities of the demigods. Therefore, a devotee cannot be a fault. If if sometimes it is found that he is in error by accident or by some temporary arrangement, that should not be taken very seriously. The cursing of Jaya and Vijaya is here repented. Now the now the Kumaras are thinking in terms of their position in the mood of passion and ignorance, and they are prepared to accept any kind of punishment from the Lord in general. When dealing with devotee, we should not try to find fault in Bhagavad Gita. Also, it is confirmed that the devotee who faithfully serve the Supreme Lord, even if find if found to commit a gross mistake, should not should be considered a Sudra. Suddha.
Sadhu.
Sadhu. Consider a sadhu or saintly person. Due to a formal habits, he may commit some wrong, but because he is engaged in the service of the Lord, what wrong should not be taken very seriously. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jaya. Thank you, Mataji. So this is a very beautiful purport. It gives so many reflections. It also sometimes affects to understand what is happening in our society or throughout the spiritual process, wherever it is. So now the four Kumaras, they entered into the Vaikuntha, and there the Jaya and Vijaya. So what they did, Vetrinacha Askalapayam etad arhanam stav tejo vivhasya bhagat pratikula. They simply put their staffs so that Kumaras cannot enter into the seventh gate of the Vaikuntha. तस्मिन्नचित्य मुनयः सरिसज्जमानाः कक्षाः समाना वैसावद Saptamayam. This is the seventh gate. There, this Jaya and Vijaya are there. They have put their staffs, but they did not speak a single word. And only these Kumaras immediately got angry, and then what they did, they wanted to curse them. So Kattum Prakristamiha Dhimahi Mandadibhyam. They thought that they are Manda Buddhi. प्रकृष्टकर्तमिह मंददीहि धीमहि मंददीभ्याम दीहि their intelligence mandadibhyam it got reduced. Likewise, what they want to do, lokanijito vrachitam antarbhava drishtya papiyasत्रय ime ripavo asya yatra. They wanted to send Jaya and Vijaya to the earth where there is a goodness, passion, and ignorance. These are the papastrayaha. There are three material qualities. They will bind that living entity in so many ways. Okay, they wanted to send, but Jaya and Vijay, they did not speak a single word. And what they have done, Sajjohari Aruchanu Guru Bibbetahtat Padagrahu Apapatam Atikatarena. And immediately they fall on the feet of the four Kumaras. Jaya and Vijaya, they are not ordinary people, they are the Vaikuntha people, directly assistants of the Lord. They have fallen Dandat Pranam to this Padagrahu Apapatam Atikatarena. So because the fear of the curse of the Brahmanas. Brahmanas curse is very, very powerful. Na brahmadanda dagdasya, na bhotabhayadasya cha, na arkasha na gruhnanti yam yoni masugataha. And it will be very difficult to come out of the Brahmanas curse. So immediately they fall on the Dandvat Pranam, they fall under the feet of the four Kumaras. But they did not speak a single word. Jaya and Vijaya, they did not speak, they simply accepted. But they have asked, Bhuya Dhagoni, they have mentioned, Brahma was mentioning, Bhuya Dhagoni, even though that is a very sinful activities. Yeno Hare Suraheranam Apyashesham. Because of that act, Suraheranam Apyashesham, Mavonu Tapakalaya Bhagatmatigno, Moho Bhavidihno, Rajito Ado Adaha. And then they were requesting, it doesn't matter wherever we go, but we want we never want to forget about the personality of Godhead. Lokanito, Rajito, they were asking, Mavonu Tapakalya Bhagat Smritigno. And they do not want to get the forgetfulness of the Lord. So that is what they are asking. So now their desire is they wanted to remember in whatever the position it is. And Kumaras wanted to send them to the where there is Papistraya, Ime, Ripo Asayatra. Ripo, they are the enemies of the person. The three qualities, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So now they came to know after Lord has appeared, and then everything is becoming normal and very peaceful and happy and jubilant, and everyone's minds are pleasing now in the coming to the proper senses. Now at that particular time, when the Lord is present, now everyone's minds are working properly in the right positions. At that time, they have Lord has glorified the Brahmanas, and the Brahmanas again reflecting on those glorifications of the Brahmanas, and again they are glorifying the Lord about his submissive behavior. And then now their minds are now peaceful. Now the four sages, the four Kumaras now reject their cursing of the two doorkeepers, Jaya and Vijaya. They understand that whatever they have done, it is not right. They are not approving their curse now. So because they are now conscious that persons who engage in the service of the Lord cannot be at fault at any stage. They cannot make mistakes because they are all Vaikuntha people. It is not possible for them to make mistakes. If something has done, then if they have asked like Kumar, instead of getting angry, what have been happening there? Dwar yetayoho, at that time, whenever they are entering, Ye sancharanti avidaha vigatabhishankaha. They have been crossing all 6 gates without any stoppage. Because of that, they thought that even the 7th gate also, it would appear like that. Because everything is success, 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 success. If they immediately they see something little bit of obstacle in between, immediately people will get angry. Even though elevated persons, immediately they will be, if always respected by wherever president goes, he would not be stopped anywhere. But immediately if stopped by something, then he will get very angry. So similar kind of position here. But here, the devotees of the Lord, they are never at fault. So it is said that anyone who has implicit faith in the service of the Lord or who actually engages in transcendent loving service has all good qualities of the demigods. यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवच्च किंचन सर्वैः गुणैः तत्र समासते सुराः. Samasate Suraha, they have got all good qualities of the Lord and demigods. Therefore, a devotee cannot be at fault. And if sometimes it is found that he is in error by accident or by some temporary arrangement, that should not be taken very seriously. Api chet sudracharo bhajate mam ananyabhak. Here, Krishna says, Api chet duracharo, even though by accident, if he has fall down, api chet sudracharo, bhajate mam ananyabhak, but still he is engaged in the devotional service without cessation. Sadhureva samantavyaha, one has to treat him like a sadhu only. Sadhureva samantavyaha, samyak vyavhito hi saha, one has to treat him with so much of respect as well. Of course, sometimes immediately other people, materialistic people will immediately get angry. Why this person has done? But even he has fall down due to some fault, then so if I say there are so many, one person in the temple, he is worshipping the Lord as a pujari. And then once he goes home, he will remove all his clothes and then wear nice t-shirts and call the prostitutes to his home and then engage in some kind of abominable activities. But later on, some other group has found that he is not acting in the proper behavior and they will come and punish him in some way or other, either hitting or scolding him. But later on, it become a big public nuisance. So many things happen, but if it is once, that is fine. But if it is a regular thing that is not approved, it will create the havoc in the society. Yenna gurhati loke brutya krutagasi. Sadhavad tatkitim 20 hanti twachim ivamayaha. It will become like a disease on your skin which will ruin the throat, the body later on. We have to treat in the beginning itself. The Lord says, Yennamancha Gurunati Loko Burcha Krutakasi. Whoever has taken my names and chanting all the time, Yennamanicha Gurunati, Namanicha Gurunati, Loke Burcha Krutagasi, and executing the duties. And if he is asadvada tatkitim, if he is doing asadvada, if not acting accordingly, not following the regulative principles, then hantitvachim ivamaiha, such kind of persons needs to be immediately removed from their positions. Just as a skin, as a disease on the skin, it will ruin the body. Then, if we do not treat it, so likewise, Lord says this statement to the Kumaras. So, and here the cursing of Jaya and Vijaya here are repented by the Kumaras. So they did not like the idea that they have cursed. So now the Kumaras are thinking in terms of their position in the mode of passion and ignorance, and they are prepared to accept any kind of punishment from the Lord. Now they are prepared to accept. This is Asmasavai Bujito Dritam Sadendo Yenagaso Vayam Aijakshmi Kilbishena. So now they're ready to accept any kind of punishment from the Lord. See why that situation came to them? Because of this a small angry Kamanujena. Kama and Kurada, they are the brothers. Kama is the elder, and Anuja is the his younger one. That is the Kuroda. If this is says Jaito Vishan Pumsaha Sangaste Shopajayate Sanga Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Abhichayate. First of all, where it everything comes from? First of all, when we are contemplating on the matter, Vishayan, and then gradually association and attachment, and later one feels that I wanted to fulfill those desires, and then that is Kaman, and then if it is not fulfilled, then Krodha. Krodhodbhavati sammohaha sammoha smriti vibhramaha smriti vramshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranasyati. Now that what happened here, because they would not able to enter into the Vaikuntha, they were stopped by the Jaya and Vidya somewhere or other, and immediately they got angry. Krodhodbhavati, and then sammoha smriti vibhramaha smriti vramshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranasyati. Now they have somewhere or other now they got mistakenly cursed. Now they are prepared to accept any kind of punishment from the Lord. But here, if we see in the other reflection of the Parikshit Maharaj, so even he was cursed by that Brahmana boy, Shringi, but he did not take any reactive actions. Likewise, there are many other situations. Even the Vidura also, he did not say a single word after he was sent out of the palace of the Kauravas. So that is the devotee's position. The devotees are always tolerant. Titikshivaha, karunikaha, suhridaha sarvadehinam, ajatatravaha tantaha, sadhavaha sadhubhoshanaha. So sadhu means that tolerance. But somewhere or other here, now Kumaras are in that position, so they are now prepared to accept any kind of punishment from the Lord. When dealing with the devotees, we should not to try find faults. This is again one of the qualities Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 16th chapter. The first three shlokas, it contains one of the qualities not to find the faults in the others, especially when you are dealing with the devotees. Devotees meant only spread Krishna. This is the first rule of the 10 offenses. So to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. This is the first offense, topmost offense. So when dealing with devotees, we should not try to find faults because they have dedicated their lives. In the Bhagavad Gita also, it is confirmed that a devotee who faithfully serves the Supreme Lord, even if found to commit a gross mistake, should be considered a sadhu or saintly person. And due to former habits, he may commit some wrong, but because he is engaged in the service of the Lord, that wrong should not be taken very seriously if it is once. And also, again, if we observe again, um, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord, this is another offense. When the same offense is being repeated again and again, that is, it is a greater offense. That should not be done. If it is once fall down and then he is again engaged in the devotional service, that is all right due to former habits. Because he is engaged in the service of the Lord, that wrong should not be taken very seriously. If he is repeating the same mistake again and again, then that is a nonsense. He must be expelled from the society. Okay, so but there are again punishments in the which are one is punishments by the Lord and also punishments by the civil law government. Those needs to be also obeyed. If we escape from the some government law, one cannot escape from the Krishna's law, that is divine. So, um, karmana dhaivanetrena, they will be punished severely because we do not know whether that here government at least they will punish physically or put in a jail and give some food and shelter, but still he has got a human body, still he can chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, follow the regulative principles. Even in the prison he will come out of the sinful activity again freely because he has gone through that punishment. If Krishna punishes that, you will go to the dog and a cat body, then what happens? He does not have even human body. So one must admit his mistakes then and there itself and surrender to the authority. That is the first thing to be done. He should not hide it. If he hides it, then it goes yam yam yoni madhu narkashanu grushnanti yam yam yoni maso gataha. So Diti Maharani says about the न ब्रह्मदण्डदग्धस्य न भूतभैरश्च. One should not make offenses to Brahmana. One should not come to the wrath of a Brahmana. If Brahmana gets angry towards a person, or if he is causing other living entities to get fearfulness. If I'm just going on a road, if there is a cat, immediately I try to scare the cat, and cat got scared, and then cat is thinking, why this person did? Because of even such kind of making the other living entity fear, that person also narkashanu grupnanti yam yam yoni masugataha. He will go into narkashani grupnanti yam yam yoni masugataha. And then, even though he takes birth in the family of lower entities like dogs, even those dogs also, dog parents also does not treat him very well. So that those things are all through the offenses. And na brahmadanda dagdasya na bhota bhaidasya na bhaya na bhota bhaidasya. So likewise Diti Maharani prays. And also this Kumarasara also mentions तेषामिति तेषामिति मीरित उभधा तेषामितिमीरित उभौ अवधार्य घोरं तं ब्रह्मदण्डम् अनिवारणम् अस्त्रपूगैः तं ब्रह्मदण्डम् अनिवारणम् अस्त्रपूगैः. It will not be counteracted by any kind of weapon. Brahmadandam. So these mistakes by towards the devotees and brahmanas, one must be very careful and cautious. One should not find any faults at all at any point of time. One has to simply tolerate. It doesn't matter whatever is happening, whatever has, just simply tolerate. Just small smile. When he is accepting small smile, uh, whatever the curve, then such kind of person is attracted by the Lord. And again, Lord says previously, uh, what is that shloka? Krishna says, very beautiful shloka. It comes. while he was describing about the glories of the Brahmanas. So he mentions that what is that verse? Um, okay, yeah, that one. Yesham Vivarmi Aham Akanda Vikunda Yoga Maya Vibhuti Ramlang Raja Kiritaihi Vipramsta Kon Visheta Idarhanambaha Sadhya Punati Sahchandra Lalama Lokan. And then, oh, yes, so Ye Brahmanan Maidya Kipato Atchayantaha Tushtad Hrudaha Tushtad Tushyad Hrudaha Smita Sudokshita Padmavatraham Vanyanuraga Kalyatmaja Vadgrunantaha Sambhodayenti aham iva aham upavritastaihi. A devotee who is receiving all kinds of blasphemies and still he is simply smiling, even though he is being insulted and criticized in all the ways without saying a single word, and he is simply smiling. That is Smita Sudokshita Padmavaktraha. The Lord is glorifying that person who is not saying any opposition words to any person who is criticizing him. So Tushya Mita Sudokshita Padmamatraha Vanyamaraga Kalayatmaja Vadgunantaha Sambhodayanti Aham Iva Aham Upakrutastaihi. Such kind of devotee is taking my attention too much. I am being attracted by that person. In such a way, he is indirectly glorifying Jaya and Vijaya because they are simply accepting the curse of Brahmanas. And similarly, in our life as well, if someone is trying to find faults, we simply laugh. We simply smile. We do not say a single word to them. We do not give explanations. Oh, because of that I have done, because of that this is that I haven't done any mistake or intentionally. We do not have to say all these things. We simply smile. We know why we have done it. Unless it is required. Sometimes later on, the truth can be revealed. So truth cannot be hidden at any point of time. So this is the Lord gives by his humble behavior and all that is what they are glorifying the Lord. So Prabhupada is describing here, due to the former habits, he may commit some wrong, but because he is engaged in the service of the Lord, that wrong should not be taken very seriously. Okay, so this is a very beautiful purport, giving so many reflections and even Brahma, the four Kumaras' realizations about their condition, about their situation, why they have cursed Jaya and Vijaya. It gives so many reflections. Okay, so I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything on this, kindly share or kindly ask your questions. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Then would bring
Then
very nicely explain everything. Thank you. I just want to, I just want to ask like small question. So this Jaya and Vijaya come and it's a demigods?
they're not demigods. They are the Lord's assistants. They're in the Vaikuntha planet. Demigods are there in the three planetary systems, down from Brahmaloka down to the Pataloka. So demigods are in the Bhuloka, Bhorloka, Suvarloka. Likewise, they are in the Suvarloka is the demigods loka. They are the appointed administrators for this universal material affairs. But Jaya and Vijaya, they are the Vaikuntha people. They do not get influenced by the time factor.
Why here is said mentioned who actually engage in transcendental loving service has all the good qualities of the demigods.
Yes,
What
this is Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagvat Chakinchana Sarvaihi Gunaihi Tatra Samansate Suraha. This is about our materialistic material world who are in the devotional service. Prabhupada is trying to give us anyone who has implicit faith in the service of the Lord, who actually engages in the transcendental service, has all good qualities of the demigods. That is of the devotees who are in this material world.
all
But
the good quality.
yes, good
So
quality
what,
of the
so
demigod.
what do good quality one demigod?
Demigods.
Help what good qualities they have.
Good qualities we can see Bhagavad Gita, that 16th chapter. all the 26 good qualities are there. Would you like to recite that shloka, Mataji? Would you like to recite this?
Thank you. Yeah. श्रीभगवान् उवाच अभयं सत् अभयं सत्त्वशुद्धि ज्ञानयोग्यव्यवस्थिति दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्याय तप आर्जवम् दया तपार्जन अहिंसा क्रोधस्य त्यागः शान्तिरपेषुनं दया भूतेष्वलोलुप्तं मार्दवम् धीरचापलम् तेजा क्षमा धृतिः शौचं द्रोहो नाति आनिता भवन्ति सम्पदं देवीं बीजातस्य भारत.
Thank you, Mataji. So these are the qualities of the demigods. So or the devotees of the Lord. Abhyam sattva samsuddhi jnana yoga vyavastitihi. Danam dhammasya yajnasya swadhyayah tapajyavam. Ahimsa satyam akrodaha त्यागः शान्तिः अपैशुनं दया भूतेषु अलोलुप्त्वं माध्वं ह्रीर अचापलं तेजः क्षमा द्युतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. These are all दैवीं सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. So these are the qualities, divine qualities. So this is also freedom from envy and from the one quality we were saying, that fault finding thing, aversion to fault finding. This is what Prabhupada was describing in the purport. One should not find any faults in the devotees. These are divine qualities. Is that answers, Mataji?
Yeah. So okay. So but Jaya Vijaya is not a demigod. Okay. Okay. This time. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Any other questions? Or you wanted to share anything? Yeah, so thank you so much.
So yeah, we understand like the Jaya Vijaya at the end, like because Jaya, like no Jaya and Vijaya is Kumaras, because he thought like because Jaya and Vijaya are the, like doing the service of the God, so they don't have any fault or anything like that. So they have mistakenly given cause that they understand that at the end. Is it?
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. What I'm thinking, was it not unfair for four Kumaras to curse Jaya and Vijaya? Because they were doing their religiously their duty, which they were supposed to do, and they were simply cursed.
So you're at 4 Kumara said, Mataji. So whatever they did is right.
Yeah, so four Kumaras. Yeah, so Jaya Vijaya were doing their duties, and if they stopped them asking their identity or whatever, to four Kumaras, why four Kumaras cursed them? They just became angry with them. They should have, you know, given them the purpose of visiting Lord or something, so that they allow them to go inside.
Yes, they could have done. So in the 15th chapter, when they were entering, first of all, Lord Brahma is describing the Vaikuntha's opulences. That one, it is so beautifully explained. Explaining Vaimanikaha Salalana Charitani Shashvat Gayanti Yatra Samalakshapani Bhattuhum. And so there he describing from that point Antarjali Anuvikat Madhumadhavinam Gandhena Kantita Dhyopi Anilam Shipantaha Paravatan Yanyubrita Sarasa Chakravaka Dhaututaham Sasukatittari Barhinam Yaha कोलाहलो विरमते अतिरमात्रमुच्चैः भृङ्गादिपे हरिकथामिव गायमाने मन्दारकुन्दकुर्वोत्पलचम्पकार्न पुन्नागनागवकुलाम्बुजपारिजाताहं गन्धे चिते तुलसिका भरणेन तस्य यस्त्विं तपः सुमनसो बहुमानयन्ति यत्सङ्कुलं हरिपद आनितिमात्रदृष्टैः वैडूर्यमारकत हेममयैः विमानयैः येषां बृहत्कटितटाः स्मितशोभिमुख्यः कृष्णात्मानं नरज आदुः विस्मयाब्धैः श्रीरूपिणि कुलयति चरणारविन्दं लीलाम्बुजेन हरिसद्मणिमुक्तधोषं संलक्ष्यते स्फटिककुज्झ उपेतहेम्नि सम्मार्जतीव यदनुग्रहणे अन्ययत्नः वापीषु विद्रुमतटासु अमलामृताप्सु देशान्विता निजवने तुलसीभिरीशम् अभ्यच्यति स्वलकमुन्न समीक्ष वक्त्रम् उच्छेषितं भगवते इति अमताङ्ग्यश्रीः. So when Brahma is describing the beauty of all this Vaikuntha planet and all these Vaikuntha people along with their concerts roaming here in their aeroplanes, and then how the goddess of fortunes are serving the Lord and how the Lord is kissing them, and then they're looking in the ponds, how beautiful. In such a way, these four Kumaras, what is happening? They have seen all this Apuhu Param Apurum Upetya Yoga Maya Balena Muniha Tadto Vikuntam. They have seen Divyam Vichitra Vibhudagra Vimana Sochihi. They have seen all the opulences of the Lord when they were entering first gate, second gate, third gate, fourth gate, fifth gate, like that, sixth gate. And then they have seen, wow, such a wonderful, and they are very happy mood. Their heart is so much happy. That is Vaikuntha Loka. तस्मिन्नचित्य मुनयः सलसज्जमानाः कक्षाः समानवयसवद सप्तमायां. They are in the seventh court, seventh gate, Saptamayam. They have seen the two Deva Achakshita Gruhita Gadu Parabja Keyura Kundala Kirita Bitanka Veshav. Jaya and Vijaya, they are beautifully standing next to the doors, and they have seen that one. But they are looking like a मत्द्विरेव वनमालिकया निवीतौ विन्यस्तयासितचतुष्टया बाहुमध्ये वक्त्रं भ्रुवाकुटिलया स्फुटनिर्गमाभ्यां रक्ते क्षणेन च मनाग्रभसं दधानो. They look like eyes are bit reddish because looking at these four Kumaras coming without any dress there. There Tanvikshvatarashanam Chitrah Kumaran Vruddhan Dashabdhavaiso Vitatmatatvan. The four Kumaras, they know all that self-realization. They got transcendent knowledge. They are coming. And but this Kumaras coming, Dwarayetayoho Divushuho Mishito Apruštva Purvayata Pruta Vajjakapatikayaha Sarvatrate Avishmaya Munyaha Swadrishtya Ye Sancharanti Avitaha Vikatapi Shankaha. They have been crossing six gates. There are no stoppage and all auspiciousness. Everything is happy. And then they're coming like the seventh gate. They thought that it is also the same thing, but they were stopped by Jaya and Vijaya. So much of happiness, but immediately they were stopped. वेत्रेण च अस्कलयतम् आततर्हणां स्तौ तेजो विहस्य भगवत् प्रतिकूलशीलौ. So, but that is not the intention of the Lord, that He looks after the devotees very nicely. Sadho hriday mahyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham madinitya nadhananti naham tebhyo managapi. I am in the heart of devotees, devotees in my heart. That is the Lord's version. But here, Jaya and Vijaya, tejo vihasya bhagat pratikula silo. They are acting opposite to the Lord, just stopping the putting the staffs opposite to the Kumaras. And what has happened? But not only Jaya and Vijaya there are so many Vaikuntha people are also sitting, going in the Vaikuntha airplanes. They're all watching that scene. That is not just only four Kumaras and Jaya and Vijaya there. There are many Vaikuntha people are there along with their concerts in their beautiful airplanes. ताभ्यां मिषत्सु अनिमिषेषु निषिज्यमानाः स्वर्हत्तमाहिपि हरेः प्रतिहारपाभ्यम्. Even though their Kumaras are qualified to enter, but they were stopped there. Jaya and Vijaya, they are doing their duty. Now, Vutu Suhurdama Didrukshata Bhangayeshat Kamanujena Sahasata Upaplutakshah. Kamanujena, that is the Kurada, Sahasata Upaplutakshaha. Now, immediately they were Kumaras bitten by angry, the snake of angry. Now, so much of happiness is coming, but immediately small incident they were stopped. whenever he is in angry, what happens? Krodot bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti vibhramaha. Smriti vibhramshat buddhinasho buddhinasa pransyati. Then instead of putting their request that we wanted to see the Lord, immediately they were cursing their Jaya and Vijaya. So what happened? Because they were bitten by the angry snake. Then what happens when my anger is there? We do not know what is right, what is not right. Of course, this is a small answer to give it, but just to put all this, the beauty of Vaikuntha, what is position of the heart of the Kumaras. Now they could not uh, resist to speak in that mood because they were stopped. Immediately got angry, and when there is angry, sammoha, sammoha smriti vibhramaha. Otherwise, if they are in the normal way, like here, they are glorifying the Lord each and every statement. Otherwise, they could have said, Jaya and Vijaya, we would like to see the Lord. Can you please ask permission the Lord we wanted to see or not? They would have spoken to that, spoken to Jaya and Vijaya like that.
Yeah, they did not introduce themselves. They didn't tell them their intention to see Lord, and they just became angry. So it was Lord's Leela only, no? Lord wanted to, I think, enjoy the Veer Rasa with the after they become demons and all.
Yes, yes, that is another story behind it. Later on, it will be revealed in the following shlokas as well. The Lord says, Etavatu pura, the Lord says, saying that, Etat puraiva nirdishtam ramaya krudhaya yada purapavarita dvari vishanti mayuparate. And he says to this Jaya and Vijay only. Previously also, when the goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi Devi was entering, you have done the similar kind of thing, and they just stopped the Lakshmi Devi to enter into the Lord's palace. At that time, Lord was sleeping inside because you stopped. And then one or later on, goddess Lakshmi Devi spoke to me that she has foretold that Jaya and Vijay will be cursed later on.
Okay.
Ramaya Krudhaya Yada. Rama Devi is a bit angry with Jaya and Vijay as well.
So hard work for them, for Jaya Vijaya, no? If they stop someone, then they get cursed.
Yeah, so sometimes when the goddess of fortune goes to the past times again, coming back, it is a different. Of course, she does not go back to anywhere, but she's always stays with the Lord. But here, Rama Devi was a bit angry. Ramaya Krudhaya Yada. Purapavarita you also acted a similar way with Rama. We should not be acting like that with Matajis at any point of time. So that is also one specific thing. And what is the real reflection here? When someone is giving some donations and charity Lakshmi to the Lord, one should not put any obstacles in between. Don't give it like that. So just let them give and donate to the Lord. And they are in the money is engaged in the service of the Lord. If you go to the Vrindavana or any pious places, give charity abundantly. Whatever is possible, give abundantly as much as possible. Because the people of Vrindavana, they spend money within the Vrindavana only. They do not spend luxuriously for building big buildings or like that. They're also engaged in a similar way. They just serve the cows and distribute there itself. They're always peaceful. So giving in money in somewhere or other, even the one should not lament about that you have spent this much of money in the Vrindavana or Prayagraj or wherever it is. Do not worry about it. If Lord has taken it from you, uh, that is the only reflection one has to have. Give Lakshmi in the pilgrimages abundantly.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. One more thing, Prabhu. Can you just explain Triloka? Which loka comes under Trilok?
This is upper planetary systems, lower planetary systems, middle planetary systems.
So
When
middle planetary is Bhulok, na? The
yes,
Prithvi.
correct. Yes.
Okay. But there are in number of what we call them Brahman, in the Brahman, in number of planets are there, so they don't come under Trilok.
So there are
in the universe?
There are so many Brahmandas, universals, but if you take only one universe, within this universe, upper planetary systems, middle and lower. Likewise, every planet, every universe contains a similar kind of structure.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Understand.
Yeah, when the Brahma, he has came out from the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, that lotus flower stem, he has divided into three parts, upper, middle and lower. Again, he divided that three parts into the 14 parts. That is 14 planetary systems.
Yeah.
Bhuloka comes like a seventh planetary system, and upper there are six: Bhurloka, Suvarloka, Tapoloka, Janoloka, Brahmaloka, like that.
And
And
Vaikuntha Loka doesn't come under upper planetary system?
Vaikuntha?
Vaikuntha and Goloka.
Vaikuntha is not belongs to this material world. Vaikuntha beyond this,
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, Prabhu. Understand. Thank you.
they are in the Brahma Jyoti, all those Vaikuntha plants in the Brahma Jyoti.
So lokas, those are below Brahma Jyoti, are material, still material world kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, where
So if you see here,
Shivlok,
Shivloka comes here.
Sadasiv. Yeah.
So this is the Brahma Jyoti, the light blue color is the Brahma Jyoti. And there Sadasiv Lok comes between Brahma Jyoti and also this is also Mahakala Dham, it is described Sadasiva Loka. And then wherever this Virja river is there, this is Karna ocean. And within the Karna ocean, so many bubbles. These are all golden egg cells. These are the souls. And then this clouds like that thing is Mahatattva. And what happens? These souls are covered by the Mahatattva and wrapped like a eggs. And then the shells would form on top of these golden eggs. So here you would see the matured the Brahmanda, where it has got earth, water, fire, air, ether, false ego, and then finally these are the layers of the universe. This once it is matured enough, the Lord enters as the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, and then he stays here for 1,000 years. चतुर्युगानां च सहस्रमप्सु स्वपन स्वदीय स्वपन स्वदीर्य स्वपन स्वशक्त्या, something like that. It Maitreya Rishi says, Sahasra Yuganam cha Sahasramapsu. Chaturyuganam cha Sahasramapsu. He stays there, and from his body, this water also comes from this body, and that is called Nara. That's why it is Narayana. Garbhodak Sai Vishnu is also called Narayana. Sukadeva Goswami mentions in the second canto, 10th chapter, why he is called Narayana. And he is the source of all the incarnations. Adu Grihitam Avatar Shataika Bijam Yanna Vipadm Bhavnad Ahamavirasam. Brahma says, my dear Lord, O Narayana, you are the source of all the incarnations within this universe. Again, there is the Narayana Upanishad is there. Everyone comes from Narayana only. Of course, this Narayana is in the Garbhodaka ocean. He is always kanta Jnatos Imeji Suchira Nanudeha Bhajam Nadhyate Bhagavato Gatirejhavajam. So there again very beautiful sloka praised by Brahma is there. 25 slokas in the third canto 9th chapter. So this is the
Okay, sorry.
these 14 planetary systems are in the stem of the lotus flower.
Yeah. So one more thing, Prabhu. So three forms of Vishnu are in the material world, kind of material world. No, they are not in Brahmaloka. No, no.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
they are still in
Yes.
material world below Brahmajyoti.
Yes. Yes.
So where is Karuna Dakshay Vishnu then in here?
Here, Karna Sai Vishnu here.
Garbho Dakshay. And where is third Vishnu then?
So third Vishnu is the super soul. He is the Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu.
Kshirodaksha Vishnu. Yes. Okay.
He acts in the potency of Paramatma. So the Paramatma is here in the four handeds, but his residency is in the Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. So Kshirodaka is also where Dhruvaloka is also nearer to the Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. You see, so that's why it is kept here logically and technically also.
Yeah. So, Prabhu, just one quick question. I mean, it's not relevant to this. So, when we leave this body, where does our soul will go in these loka?
So if see here, if in this picture, so Hare Krishna Mahamantra, this one is it is taking us going back outside of this universe and then taking through passing through the Vaikuntha Brahma Jyoti and then to the Vaikuntha Lokas, and then it is still passing through the Vaikuntha Lokas. Above that, then it is entering into the Goloka Vrindavana. So you still see this, and then here finally, so this line comes here and then enter into the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is for the devotees. But who does not chant and follow the regulative principles, who are still having material desires, they will be taking birth among these 14 planetary systems. These are Satyaloka, Tapoloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Swar, Bhur, and Atala, Vitala, Satala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. 14. They take birth here in the 14 planetary systems. If he is not intelligent enough. तस्यैव हेतोः प्रैतेतुको विधो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमतम् उपद्यतः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवद् अन्यतः सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररंहसा. Now, the Bini says that one has to be intelligent enough. So these things, pains and pleasures, they are equal in all the 14 planetary systems. One must search for something which is not available in this 14 planetary system. That is Hare Krishna mantra, devotional service to Krishna, and service, yeah, those things. That will take us the sound. This universe comes from the sound vibrations. Tamasasha Vikurvana. Then the sound by the agitation of the mode of ignorance. The sound comes from the sound, this the sky, and then the sky, and then these are all manifested one after another. That one comes in the later on in the 29th chapter, how the Sankhya philosophy, Kapila Bhagavan explains. This universe has come into from the sound vibrations. And now, by taking the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra sound vibrations, we just go out of this universe by piercing these universal shells. Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. यत्र चाध्यापमानस्ते भगवान् शब्दगोचरः सत्यं विष्टभ्य विरजं स्वाहानां मृडयन् ऋषः. That is Vaikuntha Loka. So you will go to according to the mood. If one has got a mood of Vaikuntha, he will go to the mood Vaikuntha planets like Bhishma Dev. And then if he is a devotee of Krishna, wanted to like act in the capacity of father, mother, and a lover and a friend, he will enter into the Goloka Vrindavana. Otherwise, if he is not connected to Krishna consciousness, then just within the 14 planet systems, he cannot escape from this universe. And Durga Devi is the in charge. Durga Devi is in charge of this universe.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
That's why in this material world, whatever good or bad, both are not good. Sometimes it appears good, sometimes it is not good. Some people decide that, oh, this is good, this is not good, but both are not good unless it is a Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is transcendental. It is not belong to this material world.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Any other questions or any sharings? Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, this is a small, very small purport, but so deep message Prabhupada has given, and you have explained it very nicely. So no questions as such. That how, I mean, person who is engaged in the service of the fall cannot be at fault. I mean, this is so important at any stage, even if it's some small fall down. But if by mistake, then he should be forgiven and then again embraced. But if it's repetitive, then of course there should be punishment. And Prabhupada does mention that, like, there should be punishments for people who are adharmic, and that's how the Mahabharata happened. Like Krishna tried so many times, but Duryodhan did not agree to even give uh, 5 villages. So like that, so very, very, and very deep. And when you were showing, I was thinking about, like, contemplating on something else. Like here, when he showed in Bhagavad Gita, what where Lord has spoken about when he's talking about Devic and demoniac qualities, he has given all these 26 qualities. 16 Bhagavad Gita 16:1.3 to 1:1 2 3. These shlokas which Meena Mataji read. These are the qualities given by Lord of saintly person or godly person. At the same time, we have in Krishna in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he has got this listed these 26 qualities of a devotee or a Vaishnava, like how to separate quality. How would you understand he is a Vaishnava and one who is a non-Vaishnava? Those are again, like, if you find Prabhu, then maybe you can show. I mean, these are a list of 26 qualities, and then there's again another list of qualities. It's in, I think, it's called desire tree, where, like, he 26 qualities, good qualities of Vaishnavas. Like, he's very kind to everyone, he does not make any enemy, he's truthful, he's equal to everyone, no one can find fault in him. He's magnanimous, he's mild, he's always clean, he is without any possessions, he works for everyone's benefit, he's peaceful, he's always surrendered to Krishna, he has no material desires, he's very meek, he's steady, he controls his senses, he does not eat more than required, he's not influenced by Lord's illusory energy. He offers respect to everyone. He does not desire any respect for himself. He is very grave. He's merciful. He's friendly. He's poetic. He's expert and he's silent. So,
They are
I
all
mean,
coming from here itself, Mataji.
Prabhu, sorry.
They are all coming from here itself, or?
No, Prabhu. If you search, I mean, I have my screen, but maybe you can share yours. It's called Desire Tree. If you find the 26 qualities of a devotee, like Srila Prabhupada mentions them, like he always quotes the 26 qualities of a devotee. The devotee is the word, Prabhu. So if you put devotee, then only they show. Yeah. This one. And there's a basically, mentioned in, if you see this paragraph here, Prabhu Krishna Raj in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says all the good qualities that manifest in the body of a Vaishnava. And so that you help them to distinguish. So is sometimes people just wear tilak and kanti, and of course they're not always Vaishnavas, but all these qualities, if one possesses, then only they are Vaishnavas. So
Yeah, these are the same qualities as Krishna mentioned, 26 qualities. So here in this purport also,
maybe the order is different, Prabhu.
order is different, yes. So all these 26 qualifications mentioned are transcendental qualities.
So the language is different as well, right? I mean, here Krishna mentions godly qualities, and Kaviraj Goswami mentions as like distinguish a Vaishnava from a non-Vaishnava. These are Vaishnava qualities.
Is it the intention is the same thing. So whatever Krishna says, Kaviraj Goswami gives in his Chaitanya Charitamrita same way, but in a different order.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah, okay.
same.
I had this confusion. Sorry.
Yeah, they are the same.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that was a confusion, Prabhu. So yeah, I mean In the purport, so can you go back to the purport? This no, not this one. The ones we were discussing.
Or that one, okay.
Yes. No, Prabhu. I mean, this gatekeep. Yeah. Sorry, this four Kumaras purport. Yeah. So has all the good qualities of demigods. So, so I mean, it's same as the Vaishnava qualities, is it? Right?
Yes.
And he's trying to. I mean, of course, demigods they have more piety and they are like at higher planetary system. They are still doing devotional service to the Lord and all. But at the same time, Lord wants these qualities in human body, like when they come as devotees, and they are also expected in Vaishnavas. Is that right? Like even I mean, not only, so it's not only for demigods, it's also for being a good human being, being a devotee of the Lord, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That I was trying to understand, Prabhu.
Yeah, all three are in sync, Mataji. Krishna said, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami said, these qualities, good qualities of demigod, all are in the sync.
Yes, okay, Prabhu. Yeah, I was trying to understand that, and like little bit of confusion in mind, but thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, any other questions or sharings? सर्वैः गुणैः तत्र समासते सुराः.
And so yeah, that's why if you just like think that way, like if we know so many in ISKCON after Prabhupada left, or even in the 1970s, as we're reading in the letter, there was some fall down, but Prabhupada always gave them chance, like as here it is mentioned that maybe because of some previous wrongs, like, so what was it?
Previous habits.
Yeah, previous habits. Yeah. Due to some former habits, they must committed some mistakes. So people find so much fault like in ISKCON that they have even now what controversies are going on all. But these were the devotees who were there with Srila Prabhupada, who helped to build up the mission.
But only in the high level, do not get bewildered all these things. Only just simply engage. As they enter into those contemplations, again put up into anxiety, and it will
No,
make.
it's not about anxiety. What I'm trying to say is like there in this letter also we see that there's temporary like ban. It's not, so Prabhupada always giving chance, like that's what I'm trying to contemplate, that he is always giving chance. If due to previous habits there are some fall downs, but he's always again giving chances, so that they can rectify, they can come back, they can as the four Kumaras, they uh, they surrender that we have made mistake to the Lord, and we are okay to take the curse that the gatekeepers have given us. So similarly also we should think like those who talk about these fall downs, these were the devotees who helped Prabhupada to build this mission, this ISKCON, the society. So even if there were fall downs and they've accepted, they should not be criticizing and then giving them chance that it is due to previous habits, and it's not like the Prabhupada, I mean it's all the movement that spread in all these 12 years, it happened because of all these devotees who might later they have might committed mistakes, but initially they were with Prabhupada to help build the mission. That was the point I was trying to make, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. And also Prabhupada mentioned whoever is assisted in book printing, Bhagavatam printing, they will all go back to Godhead, though, just for doing this service only. So on the other letter we have seen so many days back, Just because of this service, you all go to back to Godhead. It doesn't matter whatever you do, either in the future or whatever you did in the past. But even if you see in this eternity of the time factor, these 100 years or 30 years or 40 years, or maybe it is nothing. So in seeing the in terms of the eternity of the time. But nowadays, if we see some of the devotee children taking birth and they are like Bhakti Bhagavat, they are preaching like anything. And some of the children, they are with so much of knowledge. We didn't have answers. So this, so many of the Prabhupada's associates might have taken, but again, in order, if there is a little bit is completing, 98% is done, still 2% is there. They wanted to complete those 2% as well, coming appearing like that and trying to finish that business. So those things we can just understand. But whatever happening in front of us, these conflicts, these things, one side dharma and other side adharma, they're both under jurisdiction of the Lord only. They have got their own purposes. Even if we see Gaudiya Vaishnava, and then later on ISKCON has born out of it, and then it has spread, and then but it is more purer. But now something is also going on. But there is a proper reason for it. They have got different conceptions. For example, they may think that Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Koriya Aikya. So in such a way, Prabhupada's last statement in the letter, they have taken one kind of reflection and understood and then stuck up there. And then we may understand, if though they don't have got knowledge to understand Shastra, they stuck up with the Prabhupada statements. In one way, we may not see the wrong. And also, if we see the Shastra Pramana, Guru Parampara needs to be continued, and then a person, a mother, a father, spiritual master, a demigod, if he is able to deliver the living entity, he can become a guru. Even though he is born in the Chandala, he can become a guru. It is not just sticking only to a person like a Ritvik like that. It is not constant. A person become a guru. Prabhupada had mentioned number of times, it is the Shastra Pramana as well. If one is able to deliver, he become a guru. He accepts the disciples and deliver them. So that is, but in other angles, they might have seen so many bad things happen. So we don't want that to be contaminated like here, who is going to coming and then disguise as a guru and then ruining the society. In one reflection, they may have got another purpose, but their mood may be different. But we need to, when such kind of things are there, we should not be bewildered there, because even the Brahma's children, one side is Adharma is one son and Dharma is the other son of the Brahma. Both are the children only. Adharma way they have got their different purposes. Even Kali comes in that lineage of the Adharma that we see in the fourth canto, maybe fourth chapter. The first three slokas they describes about the Adharmas and its lineage. But where dharma is also Brahma's children, but it is for the path of elevation. But there is always some kind of conflicts between dharma and adharma. But one should not be bewildered by looking at this, what this is good, this is not good. We criticize him, we say that we judge him, this is good, this is not good, like that. But if we see very higher terms, both are not good for us. Do not contemplate, simply engage yourself in the chanting and follow the regulative principles coming from bona fide spiritual section, spiritual master. Do not contemplate it. In such a one can just go back to Godhead and simply preach the message. That is one reflection. So the more
Everybody has got, yeah. So, yeah, Prabhu, carry on.
yes, Mataji.
Mm. Yeah, everybody has got like different reflections, definitely, and it's all part of Lord's plan. I mean, they also, everything they do is for the Lord. So, I mean, uh, as you mentioned nicely about Brahma, Dharma, and Adharma. So, it's similarly in every yuga, it went on and it will go on. So, but at the same time, there should be people like, the ones who have these qualities of Kshatriya, even in the movement, to, you know, mm, give right answers, of course, from the GBC. Higher, that is, of course, from not our end. We're not saying that, but from a higher end to mitigate that, to sort out those problems, because conflicts will always be there. When Prabhupada wanted to open this temple in Juhu, we heard about so much conflicts, but Prabhupada, along with his devotees, they fought the case. So it's not that when there is a conflict, we run away. We need, like, not, I'm saying not we, but of course the higher authorities in the movement, they must be doing something to sort out this problem. So it's like both two sides of a coin. I mean, if there is dharma, there'll be a dharma. And moreover, that letter was not even written by Prabhupada. It was like Prabhupada only said, and his devotees, they wrote, and he agreed that, he that was not Prabhupada's word. He had just typed it himself, and Prabhupada was so ill that he just heard, and maybe not, he did not carefully listen to the henceforth, and whatever is the conflict which is going on. I don't want to get into that, but it's like two sides of a coin. We don't get bewildered. We take it, but we pray to Lord that give us the right consciousness to understand and differentiate, and be on the right track. Because sometimes when we open YouTube, and then when you search for this AI, they have this algorithm of sending you all. If you listen to bhakti things, some other things also, initially, like, I had no idea what ISKCON Bangalore ethics and all that, and when they come, you listen to them also. But slowly, if we do not delve deep in, if we just chant and do nothing, then, and don't do our own research, many people who are like very mild and gentle, they get into the trap, and they listen to everything, and then not understand, and they have so many questions. So we should always have queries, and then get it sorted, so that you can narrow down and filter the path we have to choose, that which mission we have to stick to. So that is very important. We just only with chanting, and not sitting in one corner and chanting. That's what not Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada wanted, so I mean, he did so many things, and at the same time. So we have to keep our eyes open. Otherwise, in YouTube we get so many things. It keeps on coming, even in bhakti. So we don't have to listen to. There's one called Hare Krishna movement. So if you see that, like, and they also preaching and so much things, but sometimes they come, and unless you understand the source and authority, you don't. But unless we know, we will not understand whether we should listen to this or not. Every video that comes that does not say it's ISKCON. So we have to be very mindful and careful in this age where information is overloaded. AI keeps on giving you so much, but then we have to be able to learn to filter. That's what my realization, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, that is true. Whatever you have said, true. But that's why, similarly, I had, since my childhood, I never trust anyone unless it is coming from a bona fide. First of all, I see why this person, is it his personal opinions as personal contemplations like that. I never had a good friends like that. I never made any. Everyone, they always say something. I do not see all good qualities in one particular person, either until my 15 years of age, but just grown up among those people like that. But later on, if I say just going on, intermediate is done, graduation is done, but still we don't see those qualities in all these good qualities in any person. First of all, I look for what is the evidence, why if he is speaking something good, what is the cause for he speaking good? I look behind. What is the strength for him? Whether he is speaking from the scriptural point of view, whether he is speaking because he is a manager or is well studied or money or something like that. But these are all, uh, we cannot take those one because he is nicely talking and impressive. That is not the right thing. But just keep on traveling in our way. But when we see the devotees, they see some good quality, some taste in the devotees, and then they are doing not for any of this Janma Ishwari Sutati Viheda Manavadaman Naivariti Abhidatma Tvama Kinchana Gocharam. That is the qualities of bhakti. This is what the people I'm looking for, because they speak only the whatever the message, the dharmam sakshat bhagat pranitam, that dharma they only speak, not anything else. That we see some taste of it. Okay, now we know the taste, we need to enter into it first of all, and read Bhagavad Gita, don't understand. Again, you do not understand. Again, do not understand. Again and again and again and again, again and again. Keep on going and then chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and following regulatory principles. Then we understand, yes, what it is Dharma. What is Dharmam Shakshat Bhagat Pranitam Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Initially, though it is a straightforward statement, we don't understand why Lord is saying, and then entering and reading, and then among discussing the devotees association, then we enter into it. Then we understand what is the message of the Lord to us. Don't entangle here. Whatever is appears to be good or not good, don't entangle there. You take only the Shastra Pramana only. Evidences from the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Shastra Chakshuhu. By we gain the knowledge and see the incidents, whatever is happening. That way you take it forward. And also, either some people are trapped going to one side and then never be concerned about those things. So that why that is called Shastra Chakshuhu, because nothing happens as accidentally. People who are attracted, they understand it. Whoever is in one side of society, they have got their reasons and they were convinced because of that, and otherwise they wouldn't have taken initiations there. But other side also, other people are taking also initiations. They are also convinced of the Guru Parampara and all these things, bona fide, which is the Sanatana Dharma. It should not be stopped by just only one thing or just by a particular letter or something like that. So they are also convinced. They are all intelligent. Everyone are intelligent enough to take decisions, and who are becoming trap of that is the Lord's smile. Again, Swayambhu Manu describes this one to Dhruv Maharaj in different ways. So he's saying that um, karmanyedham swabhavam, and then he says eke kalam param daivam, and then and kamam pumsaha utapare, different giving different reasons for why persons were engaged in different ways in their नवयं क्लेशि बीजानि यथ स्युः पुरुषशुभः पुरुषं तं विजानीमो वाक्यभेद विमोहिताः केचिद् विकल्पवसेन आहुरात्मनमात्मनः दैवम् अपरे कर्म स्वभावम् अपरे प्रभु. Even Dharma cannot give the proper answer to Parikshit Maharaj, who is the cause for your problems. It should not say, because Dharmam bravisi bravidhno dharmoshu rushupadro yad adharmakasthanam suchakasyapi tad bhavet. And whoever is finding the fault, he is also come under the clutches of adharma, and he'll be come under this. See, there is never find faults, and we know first of all Shastra Chakshu. Then once we understand something is happening, whether they are understanding, whether innocently they are going or purposefully going. But Krishna devotees, either way, this side or that side, they are intelligent enough. They have read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and letters, Prabhupada's messages, and everything else. But who doesn't know those things, or just so far they have not heard about Krishna, anything else, who are not inside Krishna consciousness. They are all innocents. But even they are going this side or that side, it is Lord's arrangement only. Nothing happens accidentally. What we need to be, whatever we are in that path, make that path pure enough. By our presence, purify everything through the Shastra Pramana, Guru Pramana, Sadhu Pramana only, not by our mental speculations. Otherwise, we will also put up into those speculations. So there are many things to discuss on these things. Once a person who are reading all these things and studying, he will go silent. He would not say anything at all. He would not even participate in to distinguish this is good, this is not good. He does not participate that one also. That is Paramahamsa stage, because everything is not good. Only thing is engage yourself, simply engage yourself back to Godhead. That is who understands entire essence of these things. Ketnadev Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. Hare Krishna. Yes, there are again many to say anything. There are different reflections comes from, but again it is out of curiosity, anxiety for the society and devotees. That is also transcendental. linked to Krishna only. Yes, Mataji.
But yeah, what I agree, whatever you have said, it's like Lord is Janardhan, so he is there. He is the original abode and a protector of all the living beings. So whatever they are doing, it's all part of his lila. So he will take care of them. We can only do our part, and then yeah. But I mean, not at the Paramhamsa stage yet. As like be quiet and just observe the good and the bad. That's a long way to achieve. But of course, to be able to at this point. Saragrahi, just like the Lord, He's just giving the summary, the gist of the message. If we just take that Krishna's main message, then with Shastra Chakshu, we should be able to distinguish like the duck or the swan, they separate milk from the water like that. So in this material age, we should have that deep knowledge, try to get that knowledge. That is the first most important thing. That's why Prabhupada, the letter we read about book distribution, that is my press, there's a heart and soul. So he wants this book to be read so that we have the right knowledge, and that's how we can do service, like to get the gist. Like Krishna explained everything, and then if he's saying Yathechasi Tatha Kuru, then if you take okay, then listen to Bhagavad Gita, and then next day you go back to your original back life, material life, and if that's the sar summary you take, so it's up to us. So but it's again, if you're doing that, that is also Lord's energy which is making us do that. So it'll only take many more lifetimes to get out of this like proper shell, this shell of Mahatattva, like the proper egg. It's to break that egg and transcend is very, very difficult. Only like steadfastness and focus only helps us transcend. It's not easy. Yeah. So yeah, whatever you're saying, I agree, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sarangamiva Sarabhuk. So Parikshit, who observed, Parikshit is the examiner, and he is na anudveshti kalim samrat sarangamiva sarabhuk kuchalani asijjanti na itarani kritani yet. A very beautiful verse, Mataji, is from your Sarangamiva Sarabhuk. Who knows the essence, the cream of everything? Kushilani Asijjanti. If we try to do Kushilani Asijjanti means what is the auspicious thing, they will give immediate results. Naitarani Krutanyat. But sinful activities, until they are coming into the picture and implemented by physically, until that they do not give any bad results. But for auspicious thing, justly by thinking itself, Pusilani association, they will give the results very immediately, auspicious objects. So this is Sarangimo Sanubu, a Parikshit examiner who understands Kali, the influence of the Kali. He will understand Sarangimo Sarabuk. That's why Ketna Deva Krishna se Mukta Sangha Paramraje. Just simply led by the Lord back to Godhead. Essence of those things. No good, no bad. Both are bad only in this material world. They will entangle us somewhere or other. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments? Mrida Sachi Mataji, you wanted to say anything, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji.
You have got lots of knowledge. You are intelligent enough and ask so many questions. If you share some of your realizations and reflections, we will hear you, Mataji. You can ask any questions as well.
No, Prabhuji. I also want to ask that Mataji already asked the question that um, mm, the Char Kumara gave the curse to Jaya and Vijaya. And my question has also same that, but I got the answer. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so thank you so much. And Usha Mataji, you wanted to share anything? We haven't heard you.
No, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Just beautiful discussion about that Prabhupada's letter today. Mata Santita Mataji was explaining, and this Vaikuntha description also, Prabhu. So Jaya and Vijaya about that. Yeah, same question like Hemlata Mataji was asking. I said, yeah, about the poor Kumaras, why they gave the curse to Jaya and Vijaya. So, yeah, Prabhu, good answer also. So it's really nice discussion.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Very nice. And Gauringi Mataji, you wanted to add anything, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji, I don't have any comments or questions, Prabhuji. Sorry.
That is perfect. Paramahamsa stage answer. So there is no good, no bad, no questions. Simply, Kirtana Deva Krishna se Mukta Sangaha Param Raja. Simple engage in the devotional service. Thank you, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I heard the noise from airplane, so I could not hear properly. Yeah, Prabhuji. Mataji, Sanchita Mataji always explaining very nicely. Then some word I understood, so I cannot say properly, Prabhuji. That's why. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So that is Paramahamsas, they do not distinguish either good or bad, that and this, like that. They only relish. They don't have to explain by their personal behavior and personal activities, their personal presence, everything will be purified. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so we are 50 minutes past 8 o'clock, and it is very beautiful discussion, always pleasing. And this is how Satam Prasangan Mama Veer Samvido Bhavanti Rutkana Rasayana Kataha. This is Rasayana Kataha. Tadjoshana Das Apavargavatmani Shraddha Ratihi Bhakti Anukramishati. This is Yenam the soul of Murugasanam Bhavim Nese Bhad Guna Katamrita Panamattaha. Dhruv Maharaj says Panamattaha. Nese Bhad Guna Katamrita Panamattaha. Very beautiful statements. Discussions among the devotees, they're always relishing. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So, unless if you have got anything.
Thank you, Prabhu, and for beautifully explaining them. These verses are so nice and answers to so many questions. Like when we read the purport and discussing them again amongst devotees, it helps us open a gyan chakshu. So much we don't know and understand Shastra properly through discussion. So we find them like really this is relishing nice way to start the day. So our gratitude and obeisances to you. Please all the devotees unmute and say three loud Hari Bols to Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hari Bol to all the dear devotees, Hari Bol to and all glories to Guru Vaishnavas and Krishna and Radharani and also all the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So these are all, they are the main to glorify them. So we are just instruments, just acting as instruments. Okay, that is the Guru's mercy. Thank you so much. And also Prabhupada, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, just remembering that is Siksha Guru Tajani Krishnera Swarupa Antaryami Bhakta Sreshta Yeduye Rupa. So devotees, he was describing those things, just our spiritual masters. Krishnera Swarupa. So when Prabhupada has given, when the four sannyasis Mataji mentioned, those are describing Prabhupada as the God. But somewhere or other, our gurus, when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that शिक्षा गुरु के ताजानी, शिक्षा कुरे ताजानी कृष्णेर स्वरूप, शिक्षा गुरु ते ताजानी कृष्णेर स्वरूप. Last Chaitanya Charitamrita shloka in the last Saturday session. So our gurus, they're all objectives of our worship. Gurus, Vaishnavas and Krishna and Radharani to release among the devotees association. Thank you so much, all the dear devotees. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu, maybe this quick point here. Maybe what the Shastra, according to Shastra, they were right, but because that time there was so much other Osho and all that, and so many other fake guru things were going on, that if they Prabhupada basically, so that's why there was a temporary ban. He did not want people to think, because in the West this philosophy is very new. Maybe for us, we are guru, for our guru we keep Prabhupada, like he's also worshipped like that, and so much guru puja, guru seva, everything we do, it's like we treat them as God. But this is deep philosophy, and people will not, general public where this message was being distributed, people will not understand that, and they will get into this trap. They might think the ISKCON is saying that one time they're saying Krishna is Guru, one time they're saying Prabhupada is, Krishna is God, and then Prabhupada is God. So they might get bewildered. Like what is happening now, like some similar kind of thing. So that's why Prabhupada said not to glorify him like as God. Of course, like earlier they used to call him Swami. Then they said we want want to call you by some loving name. Then Prabhupada suggested to call them Prabhupada. Like earlier, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada used to call him Prabhupada, and very thoughtfully said, okay, you can call me Prabhupada, but Prabhupada, at the lotus feet of the Lord, like as a servant, not as the Lord himself, not as Prabhu. So that's why that might have made him a bit upset. According to Shastra, what you're saying is right, but people might get bewildered. So that's why he said keep a distinction who is a guru and who is a supreme personality of Godhead. Spiritual master, and they're different. He just want, in the West, people will otherwise get confused. Like for us, we learned like devatas, but here Prabhupada says demigods. Like some people get offended in India, especially why they're calling them demigods. They're like devatas, like devis and devatas. And so, but he wanted to keep it simple for them because they would not understand. So he has used certain terms. And wherever he's saying bhakti yoga is mentioned, that word Prabhupada has said devotional service to the Lord. So just keeping things simple for them. That's why they were banned. So just another way to reflect that, Prabhu, so that there's some clarity, the people don't get confused. And like even this present controversy, when they're talking about other like Prabhupada disciples, they're thinking, we did not think that it will get into such a big controversy, that because we have mentioned words like henceforth and all that, and they will only stick to the letter and not consider what Prabhupada has said about guru. How, like, if you preach, then you are a guru. And those who are saying all this, they are also, not Prabhupada disciples. They have been like one of Jayapataka Maharaj and other sannyasis. So they are also, so self-contradicting. So they're initiated by not Prabhupada, but they're his disciples. And now they're saying something else. So anyway, not get into all that. So yes, just for clarity, Prabhupada had kept it so that those Shastra, whatever you're saying is right, but for clarity. So just wanted to mention that. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so any other things, dear devotee, to share? Or we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
Vishnu Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Sanskrit ki jai.
पादुके च
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद